All right, so we are getting very close to the end of Unit 9. So if you'll find in your Unit 9 notes packet, right in the middle, we have these little boxes that say types of matter. And we're going to work together to create a flow chart over the different types of matter. You're going to need some highlighters and something to write with. So to start off, highlight where it says types of matter. And we're going to start with matter itself. And it's going to branch into two different categories. We're going to have matter exists as. The first category is going to be a pure substance, and that's what we have been learning about at the beginning of this unit. And then the second one is going to be mixture. And that's what the little second part of this unit is going to be on the different types of mixtures that exist. So we're going to focus on pure substances to begin with. So pure substances are going to divide into two categories, and those two categories are going to be elements, and an element is what we've really been talking about. And of course we can find elements on our periodic table. There are 118 of them, and you've been learning a lot about each of them, how they're arranged and their protons, their neutrons, their electrons, their atomic number. And elements are made of one type of atom. Remember that an element is the purest form of that atom. So examples of elements would include, and I've just picked some off of the periodic table, and you're going to pick some yourself. So examples of elements, I have hydrogen, and in parentheses I have its symbol H. Oxygen, and in parentheses its symbol O. Sodium, and in parentheses its symbol capital N, lowercase a. And carbon, and in parentheses a capital C. Then I'd like for you to look at your periodic table and add 3 more examples of 3 more elements that you would like to add to your notes that are examples of an element. Okay, there's one other pure substance that we're going to begin talking about, and that is when elements begin to bond. And remember those orbital drawings that we drew where we had electrons in different orbitals, and there's only one group that doesn't bond, and those are the noble or inert gases, group 18. So all this bonding that takes place, they create compounds. Okay? And compounds are made of 2 or more atoms bonded together. They are chemically bonded together in compounds. So some common examples of compounds that I have for you are H2O, which is water, made of hydrogen and oxygen, 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. NaCl, that's sodium chloride, which you know as table salt, which you would cook with or eat on your French fries. Then CO2, 1 carbon and 2 oxygens, that is carbon dioxide. That is. Please excuse the interruption. So CO2, carbon dioxide, is what your body creates as waste that you exhale out. Then I've got 3 more that I want you to use your Chromebook, and I want you to look up the chemical formula for them. The first one is going to be sucrose. That is table sugar, just regular old sugar that you would put in sweet tea or Kool-Aid. The next is methane gas. That's what we use in our science lab to fuel our Bunsen burner. And the other one is sodium carbonate. So look up those chemical formulas and write them down here, because those are examples of compounds made of 2 or more atoms that are bonded. They are chemically bonded together. So all of that exists on the pure substance side of matter. Now we're going to move over to the mixture side of matter. And the mixture side of matter gets divided into two categories. I'm going to show you them both at the same time. We have heterogeneous and homogeneous. Hetero, the prefix means different. Homo, the prefix means same. So this gives you a big clue as to what these mixtures are going to be about. A heterogeneous mixture is a mixture that is not uniform or the same throughout. It's going to be different throughout. Whereas a homogeneous mixture is a mixture that is uniform or does look the same throughout. So in a homogeneous mixture, like if it's food, every spoonful is going to be the same. Think about foods that you eat where every spoonful, every handful is the same, whereas heterogeneous, every spoonful, every handful might be different. So let's write a few examples down. In a heterogeneous example, we would have things like dirt. If you go outside and get a shovelful of dirt right out the back door of the classroom, each shovelful might be different. Some might have some grass, some trash, some different types of rocks in it. Some might have some clay or sand, but it's a heterogeneous mixture. The makeup is different. Vegetable soup. Every spoonful of vegetable soup is different. It has a different makeup. One spoonful might have peas and carrots and a little piece of meat. The next spoonful might have tomato and a little piece of potato in it. Chex Mix. Every handful of Chex Mix is different. Some people might try to pick out certain things that they want to eat because Chex Mix is so heterogeneously mixed. Then I'd like for you to use your Chromebook and look up 3 other heterogeneous mixtures that we've not mentioned and add those in your notes. Now, a homogeneous mixture would be Kool-Aid if you haven't put too much sugar in it and the sugar has sunk to the bottom. But Kool-Aid, if you pour a glass of Kool-Aid for yourself and you pour a glass of Kool-Aid for a friend, then both glasses of Kool-Aid should be the same from the first sip to the last. So Kool-Aid is a homogeneous mixture. You may have even seen the word homogeneous or homogenized on milk. That was something that in the process of milk they did to keep the fats from separating back in the day. Pudding is a homogeneous mixture. You get pudding cups at lunch or Jell-O. Every spoonful should be the same. Salt water. If you take salt and water and mix them together, then it should be a homogeneous mixture. And we wanted to point this one out because while water is a compound and while salt is a compound, both pure substances, when we mix them together, they can become a homogeneous mixture that we could then separate by evaporation. Filtering salt water will not get the salt out of water, but evaporating it will. All right, and then last, I want you to add your own 3 examples using your Chromebook of homogeneous mixtures. Okay, we've got some fun activities coming up where you're going to classify different types of matter using this chart. So make sure that it is nice and neat. Make sure that you have taken a moment to highlight it because you're going to use this as your study tool and to help you with the upcoming labs. All right, so let your teacher know if you have any questions.